What's up, y'all? How you doing? This is Marcus with Permaculture Miami, also with ediblefruitnursery.com. I'm excited and inspired to share about investing into trees with my main man right here, Jim Gale with Food Forest Abundance. I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself and how awesome it is to be growing food together. What's up, Jim?
Oh, buddy, it's beautiful. Marcus, thank you. The design that you created for us, for me at Galt's Landing, is in full fruition now. It is in the ground. And 9 months ago, I thought it was January, but then because my time, I'm not very good at time. Like I don't see time the way I used to. I thought it was 11 months, which is still mind blowing, but it's only been about 9 months since we started implementing and installing the food forest that you've designed. And with the yucca and the sweet potatoes and the tomatoes and some of the more fast growing crops, we already have enough food to feed our entire family and more. And we're just getting started. We've got over 220 different types of food in the ground now. And within the years to come, that food forest will be the seed that creates infinite abundance for us and for our community and for communities around us as well as it expands. So I just want to say thank you for that beautiful work of art.
Ah, thank you. I love that it's like literally birthed, right? 9 months.
Yeah. And just, yes, it's epic. I
Yeah.
mean, I just want to share too. It's not just the food, which is by itself amazing, but the beauty of it. And now the butterflies. Now we started with Florida sugar sand or Florida sand, whatever you call it, right? It was sand that we dug from our pond. It was on average, it was 10 feet underground. So it didn't have really much life in it. And by stacking the mulch and the layers and the soil and then putting the gills together, we now have thousands of butterflies. We now have whole flocks of birds, all of them saying, I want to live there too.
Yes, absolutely. So it's not just us that we're providing for, we're providing for life of all our families, beyond just the human family. And our topic today is going to be just talking about why we're doing this, why we are investing our time, our energy, and our income resources towards planting fruit trees and all the gills that come with that. Why are we doing this? Well, the investment makes complete sense. When we invest in trees, let's say we're actually, it's funny enough, this is the first project I've seen where there's way more energy going into the forested aspect of a cul-de-sac, basically, because there's going to be homes, right? And what I normally see when I'm doing work like this, they put hundreds of thousands of dollars into the home and articulate the home with all these little details on the inside and buying basically what's called not an asset but liabilities. Like the
Yeah.
focus is on liabilities. Do I have the best TV? Do I have like the best cars outside? Can I really make this asphalt perfect as possible?
Yeah.
So much investment into liabilities rather than something that is an asset that is gaining value over time.
Yeah.
And so, what we're talking about is assets and how amazing an asset that grows itself.
It's incredible. It's infinite. Like that's the whole point of Galt's Landing is to demonstrate we're going to have nice homes, but we're also putting a lot of energy into the land and growing assets that provide more and more abundance every single year. And it's infinite. Like you can count the seeds in a single apple, but you cannot count the apples in a single seed. Right. So, yes. So keep going, brother.
Yeah, that's so great because when we plant that seed, right? For example, I planted when I first got into this, I planted tomatoes, and they died and nothing happened, and I was like, okay, I'm a terrible farmer, right? Got the black thumb or the brown thumb, and then I just said, you know what? Let me really study this and learn it, and then I grew a tomato in a square foot garden of a two by two garden,
Yeah.
got 90 tomatoes off of that one plant.
Yeah.
90 off of that one plant within a short season of, let's say, 3, 4 months, right? And I counted every single one of them, and they were amazing Roma tomatoes, like the best. And I got it from a store. I bought the little tomato and I planted it. So that one tomato seed turned into 90 tomatoes. Now, 90 tomatoes is about, let's say, 10, 12 pounds of organic tomatoes. Yeah, 50, 12 pounds, and then usually like, $6, $7. So, you're looking at like 80, $90 that I got off of this one plant. So I planted an asset and it grew and it produced, but that's an annual, right? Imagine you planting a fruit tree, let's say like a mango,
Yeah.
a mature mango tree here that produces thousands of mangoes, right? Thousands in a season. Now imagine if you're talking about thousands of mangoes, you're talking about thousands of dollars that is coming back in every year. Also consider this: one mature mango tree here in Miami is valued at 10,000.
Wow.
$1,000 increase in your property value just having one mango tree, specifically a fruit tree like a mango. Imagine that.
This is epic. And what did it cost to put that in the ground?
Right, exactly. Might have cost you, let's say it cost you $100. This would probably cost you 30 or $40 to buy a tree, a nice sized tree, and plant it, right? But even if it cost you $300 because you wanted a nice sized tree that was already producing fruit, right? That tree in the ground is worth $300. And when you sell sell it a year from now, it's worth $1,000. Let's say, when it becomes mature, it's worth $10,000. So that you can't compare like housing to trees in terms of how fast the value increases. It's exponential.
Yeah, it truly is. And then at scale, right? When you have a mango tree with a guild around it, and you've got a dozen different plants that are supported and supporting each other, right? Then now all of a sudden you've got a dozen different plants, maybe 6 or 7 of them are food producers, and then the other ones produce beauty and build soil and produce nitrogen in the soil. Now you've got a system that you could literally walk away from, and it will just continue to thrive and produce more every year. It's infinite abundance.
Here's a great example. I'm getting ready to bring hundreds of strawberries, right, to Gulf's Landing. Really exciting. And I love it because it's like, well, what am I gonna do with hundreds of strawberries? I can't eat all of that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you're going to landscape your space, right, why not landscape it with so much abundance that you can give,
Yeah.
right? Now, you can put flowers or you can put a flowering plant that produces fruit, right? Strawberries produce flowers. They're a ground cover. You cover the ground, they spread actually, and they cover the ground for you. Fantastic. Very different from grass, where it's a liability. You have to invest into it, and you will get fined if you don't keep cutting that grass.
That's insane.
A liability.
Yeah.
You have to use, a petroleum, to keep that thing cut, and you have to use a huge amount of fertilizers to keep it growing in order for you to then go out there like a zombie and keep cutting that grass, right?
Yeah, like a zombie. That's a good analogy right there.
When you could be actually going out there vibrantly excited to pick fruit and pick all those strawberries and be like, hey, wow, I got so many, and you're giving it to your neighbors are happy, and then they're looking out for you because you're looking out for them, because you're providing an asset, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, and I'm so excited about these strawberries and where they're going to be planted, because we're creating a school at Galt's Landing. I'm so excited about the kids coming in, and then there's like, oh, who's going to get all the strawberries, and they're out there. It's like treasure hunting, actually.
Exactly. That's such a good point, right? The kids, oh my gosh. I wish as a child I grew up with the Garden of Eden, because I love to climb the trees, my neighbor's trees, and like pick different fruits, right? But then I go home and my dad would be like, hey, go out there and cut the lawn.
Yeah, right.
But it could have been like, hey, go out there and like harvest all the lettuce and tomatoes to bring inside for our home. And I have a very visceral connection with nature, which is super important for health and well-being. I mean, the amount of kids nowadays that are like stressed out and having anxiety and feeling disconnected from each other. And and committing suicide. That's terrible. When nature connection can solve all of that,
All of it.
particularly nature connection that provides good food that brings health back to their bodies and enables them to feel like they're a part of something.
Yeah, what we're talking about is literally the solution to deforestation and mass extinction, cancer, diabetes, heart disease trends. It's the solution to world hunger, and it's the solution to tyranny, because it's the health system, because of the poisonous foods that we're eating, that is really destroying our world. In fact, agriculture, and this is from Bill Mollison. In fact, yesterday and this morning, I've been talking with Lisa Mollison, Bill's wife. We are now collaborating with Lisa Mollison, who's just an incredible human being. And Bill said the agriculture taught in colleges and universities over the last several generations has been the most destructive teaching in the history of the world. And he's absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely correct. It literally was designed in order to create people that work for a system. It is not designed in order for us to actually feel connected, to connect. It teaches individualism rather than unity and connection. And it is actually disempowering us to think for ourselves and to really structure a world that is integrated like mycelium, right?
Yeah.
We should be like literally speaking psychically to each other by now if we had the right and appropriate educational systems. Yeah. And so to really wrap this up, I want to, and I would love you to do a final chat on this as well. I want to give an idea. I want to like really spark something for all of you, particularly those out there who are investing into homes, right? Imagine you have a lot, and rather than paying the taxes that they charge you, which is enormous nowadays for a lot that is for a home property, they have things out there now where you can actually convert that into a farm, reduce your taxes significantly, and not only on top of that, you could be growing assets. Now, I'm not saying plant trees in the ground because that's a big thing to then dig them up and then have to like build your homes. Why not buy a tree, right? And I'll do it for you, be honest with you. Buy a tree in a pot, 3 gallon, put it into a 15-gallon pot, right? Put irrigation on it, automatic irrigation on it. And you will just have to check on it every month, once a month, to make sure the irrigation is running correctly and make sure they get some nutrients, right? That plant will grow in 6 months, 6 months to a year. You can leave it in that pot. No problem. It's not going to overgrow that pot. And it will go from $40 to $120 plant.
Yeah.
Okay. And in an eighth of an acre lot, you can easily put 100 plants. So if you spent $400, let's say $500 on plants, fertilizer, soil, so forth, right? And then you put them into bigger pots. Now you have a $500 investment. Let's say, well, actually, let's say 6, 7, because you got to like then like go out
pots and things. Yep.
Pots. You got to buy the irrigation, drip line systems.
Yep.
Did it here? I have a lot that has like 200 fruit trees on a lot, a vacant lot that wasn't being used, and I'm paying the person for the taxes. I'm paying their taxes for them, so they're like, "Oh, great, the taxes, wonderful, right?"
Yeah.
Now that's turning into so that $600, $700 investment, right, is becoming 3 times to 4 times that amount, right?
In 1 year.
Invested in 1 year. You can't.
That's fantastic.
And
oh my gosh. Keep going. This is awesome.
You got the land. And so please take that in, like really receive that, know that not only are you growing fruit trees that's going to be providing food for you that year. A lot of I'm still eating off of like my Barbados cherries. They produce 3 times in the pot, and I keep just going out there eating them, right? So within that year, you're eating food, or you're sharing food with people, and you're gonna have like a huge investment, which then can sell, and they sell like wildfire right now.
They do. We're in the midst of a food supply chain crisis. It's already baked in the cake. It's already happened. And now we're starting to realize it as we see the prices at the stores. And so this is logical on every single level. Not only will you triple or quadruple your money, and if you start with seeds, you can 10x your money because seeds cost, you can get them for basically nothing. You can literally go to the store and buy some organic food that's non-GMO that actually still has seeds in it. You can take those seeds, you can start your own. Right. So there's so many ways to do this. It's so logical. Become part of the solution, become part of the supply chain, because the supply chain that we've counted on now for a couple generations is done. It's just a matter of time. So now you can become part of the supply chain. And this is, well, it's what we really must do to make a smooth transition between what was, which was unsustainable, and all unsustainable systems fail, and the golden age, the Garden of Eden age, which we are coming into.
Love it. Jim, it was amazing to
Thank
drop
you, brother.
share about this. A lot of fun. Please visit foodforestabundance.com and you'll be able to actually get things like this installed for you. Maybe you don't have time, or you just really want an investment done. They'll do it for you. And if you want fruit trees to be supplied, I have a nursery that I run. It's called ediblefruitnursery.com. And we'll be able to supply you everything that you need in order for you to really create this manifesto of our future, which is that Garden of Eden that Jim so beautifully.
And we've purchased hundreds of incredible fruit trees, really actually many thousands, or definitely thousands when you consider the smaller ones, but also a lot of large fruit trees from Marcus. And I'm just so thankful. In fact, I want to get another big order. I know the strawberries and another order is coming. Then we'll do another one after that. So thank you, brother, for everything.
Much love and appreciation. Thank you. Yes.